Welcome to #Dave Speaks.
Welcome back. This is the 12th episode of #Dave Speaks. I'm your host, Dave, co-founder of the B.S.N network, 1/3 of the nerds on the Boston Sports Nerd Show, co-host of the 4-Star Sports Bar Review, and lone wolf on the on #Dave Speaks. Let me get comfortable here. I apologize for my hiatus. It's weird when you do a bi-weekly podcast and you miss that episode. It's like a whole month since the last time I talked to you guys. Like, it's crazy. So super duper busy, wildly busy, crazy. That's why I missed the episode 2 weeks ago. We're doing a fundraising event at a local wrestling event called CSW. The gentleman, Nat Peterson, does a great job putting together an awesome wrestling show. And it's local. It's right in Groton. It's right where I'm from. And he's actually supposed to be on WECP in the next month or two. So check that out. He's got an awesome story. So I won't spoil any of that. But tune into WECP like all this next 2 months for sure, because they got a ton of people coming on. We went to this event and we were able to just like interact with everybody, and they were all about it. So there's going to be, I think, a lot of good dialogue, a lot of good conversations on that podcast coming up. Not that there isn't already, but just with different, being able to bring in different personalities. So this week, I'm riding solo. No guests. Nothing like that. My eye is itching like a son of a gun. That's why you probably hear my finger scraping up against my glasses. So yeah, I got no guests this week. But this episode's a little different. This is a Q&A. And what this episode is a way for podcasters that I know to promote their show to my audience that may not already listen to their stuff. And if you hear a show that you haven't heard before, go check it out, because it's probably really good, because I don't really deal with people that I don't find entertaining. So some of these people I actually don't know also. I don't know them. But we're all parts of this group where it's just like, they're really, really supportive. Everyone works hard in these groups, and I want you to go listen. So if you hear a podcast that interests you, go check it out for sure. So what we did was I reached out. I told everyone, like, hey, I'm doing a Q&A show. You let me know. You got any questions for me? If you have any questions about things at all, if you want advice, if you want sports advice, if you want whatever. If you have a question and you want to hear me answer it, let's do that. So I got 3 people that recorded an audio clip of themselves and sent that in. And I got a bunch of questions just from buddies of mine, people in the group, random podcasters, just people that participated, which is really, really cool. So, Aaron, from 1/3 of the nerds, WCP host, he's got a bunch in here. So before I start getting into the Q&A, I just wanted to say a couple things real fast. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And have a Happy New Year, because you're not going to hear from me unless you listen to the Boston Sports Nerds podcast or the 4-Star Sports Bar Review. You're not going to hear from me before New Year's. And not to get all sentimental or anything, but you look back like a year ago, almost a year ago, a year and 2 weeks ago, to the day, actually, from the day that I'm recording this, a year and 2 weeks ago, Aaron and I were I was sitting on his floor, he was sitting on his couch. We had a Chromebook that I went and bought. We had a free voice recorder app. And we had a Blue Yeti USB microphone. And it went from a Blue Yeti USB microphone and a Chromebook to 2 different laptops. I broke one, so I needed a second one. A 10-channel mixer. Between everyone on the network now, I think there's like 9 microphones owned. I own like 4 myself. It's crazy the growth. We were a 1-2-man show that turned into a 3-man show that has turned into 6 different shows on the network with 5 different people. In 1 year. We interviewed Michael Holley, Rich Keefe, the Mistress Belmont, the wrestler. We've been paid to promote a product, which I really love, by the way. Honestly, all natural soaps. I still swear by it, even though their ad spot is up. I still love their stuff. I can no longer get you 10% off, but you should buy their soap anyway. So yeah, just kind of thinking about that. If this next year brings any type of the growth, opportunity, excitement that this year has brought us, then I think we're in really good shape. And I'm moving and I'm shaking and I'm working on a bunch of things, some promotional stuff. I already like the way we're closing this year out for opportunities for next year. Nothing is guaranteed, obviously. And really, I do a lot of the negotiating and a lot of the conversations, so I don't really want to lay it out on the table right now as if it's fact and done. It's not done. So as soon as we finalize some of the details, I'll be real excited to share some news with you guys. And if I blow it, I blow it. And I'll know what I need to do better next time. So we'll see what happens. If anything, it's a learning experience. There's always silver lining, right? So now that all that is done, all the cleanup work is done, let's get into some questions. We got people from all over the world asking questions. So let's start with one of the audio ones here. I'm going to randomly select one. Here we go.
I'm Susie Buttress, host of the Casual Birder podcast, a podcast for people interested in the wild birds they find around them. So, basketball, baseball, and American football are not mainstream in the UK. If you had to pitch your favourite one to the UK public, how would you describe it?
Ooh, that's a good question. If I had to pitch one of the 3 major sports to the UK, which one would it be and how would I pitch it? I would go with basketball. I think basketball would be the most relatable over there. It's the easiest to understand. Football has a lot of rules. It's not that football is hard to understand, but it's just the concept in general is like, okay, so you get 4 tries, and then what happens if you, I don't know. Basketball is easy. Dribble the ball, and then throw it into that thing. And also, I think for the UK, which is, probably, I would say soccer, it would be their most popular sport. Or like rugby or something like that. But it's like soccer with your hands. So I guess that's how I would pitch it. Say it's fast-paced soccer with your hands. There's a lot more scoring, obviously. But you can dribble, you can use your hands. You can use it to throw it. Like, it's the same concept. You run from one end of the field, court, and you try to put the ball in the goal. The goal is just sideways and smaller. Same thing. So yeah, I would say I think basketball makes the most sense, considering its comparison in the UK, which would probably be soccer as the most popular sport, or hockey. I guess hockey would work too, but yeah, no, I would do. It's basketball. It's fast paced. You know, soccer's a slug, and it's really intense. But it's like, imagine the best moments of soccer over and over again. That's the pitch right there. Take your favorite moments of soccer and experience them 50 times in one game. You get to see it all the time. A pretty good salesman, I think. I think that's a good drop there. Let's go to my buddy. These are some text ones here. My buddy Michael Julian, who you've heard on this podcast, the Great Pizza Debate of 2017. He's got a couple of rapid-fire questions here. What do you think about the Steelers-Patriots controversial call? It's not controversial. We talked about that on the B.S. Nerds podcast last week. You can check that out, episode 52, named Denim Sweaters. A little misleading. Yeah, to me, it's not controversial. It's a bad rule. It's a good call. What do you think about fumbles going into the opposing team's end zones and out of bounds being considered a turnover? Yeah, I think that's the right move. It seems odd in theory, wait, I have the ball, I lost the ball, no one recovered it other than me, and now I don't have it, and they get it at the 20? That's a little odd. But here's the reason why I think the rule exists. If I'm running free, right? I'm Brandon Cooks, I'm behind the defense, and I'm just running, and I drop the football at the 5, 2, whatever. Should I be able to just kick it out of bounds? Like, just kick it through the back of the end zone? And it be what? Down at the 2? Like, what would that situation be? Because if I'm just I just panic and I'm like, oh man, I don't want this to be recovered by someone else. I'm just gonna kick it and just get it the hell out of here. Why would it still be my ball? And I know you were the last one with possession, but you literally just booted it. If you kicked it out of bounds, that's fine, and they have a rule that you can't advance. You can't advance a fumble, an offensive fumble. So I don't know. I like the question, and I also kind of like the rule. It seems odd, but it makes sense to me. Because I just don't. I think that's a definite answer. That's the one problem that the NFL has, that there's very little definitive moments, like definitive things. And at least that rule is what it is. Like, it's, nope, you fumbled out of bounds in the back of the end zone or through the end zone, through the side, whatever. Turnover. Touchback. So I like it for that a lot, because it's like you just know. And then do you think New England is the best team in the NFL? I would say yeah, because they're the best coach and the best quarterback. And I think going down the stretch, that's what matters a lot. They have a top 10 rated defense. I'm not sure where they are right now. I know they were top 5 in points allowed, and that's what really matters. And they're really, really at the bottom in yards allowed, and to me, that really doesn't matter. Gronkowski's healthy, knock on wood. Running backs have been playing really well. Burkhead injured, not playing this week, probably good. Just let him rest up. Might play next week versus the Jets, get a week off, and then go playoff bound. Deion Lewis, Rex Burkhead going crazy. Yeah, I would say they're the best team in the NFL, but I will give Joe some credit. He's got me looking at that Minnesota Vikings team a little differently. He keeps calling them... He keeps calling them the 2001 New England Patriots. And he mentioned, I said, yeah, they're gonna go to the Super Bowl, and he says, yeah. And then we talked. I said, you know that would be a home game for them. He's like, yeah, like that's nuts or whatever. So we're talking, and I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think you'll ever see a home game because the odds are just so crazy. Like what? I mean, I guess the law of averages would tell you that it would happen, but yeah, I'd say the Pats are the best team in the NFL, but I think I'm also most scared of the Minnesota Vikings. So, and I don't know. I think that's just a really shitty seed that Joe planted in my brain, but that might be the case. He also asks, mayo and mustard on the same sandwich, yay or nay? Sure. I don't have like a real preference. I get what you're doing with the question. Like, you don't really need both. I would say that one, like, I've definitely done it. I've definitely had sandwiches with both on it. Like a cheeseburger. They mayo the bun a little bit, then you get a little ketchup mustard on the burger going. Boom. But yeah, I don't ever think to do it like, oh, I need mayo and I need mustard on this sandwich. I think it's just sort of like, okay, like whatever I got. I'm a big condiment guy. That kind of goes back to the pizza debate. Like, I like sauce, I like condiments. So sure, yeah, why not? Mustard offers a level of spice that, mayo just doesn't bring it, and then mayo gives sandwich like this enrichment, this just like this new level to a sandwich that mustard doesn't give you either. So, I don't know. Yeah, sure. I wouldn't say you're crazy if you do it or you're crazy if you don't. I just think that is what it is. Quick follow-up to that question. My buddy Griffey started spoofing on the Harry Carey done by Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live. If the moon was made of hot dogs, would you eat it? Of course, I would. Hell, I'd go back for seconds and top it off with a nice cool Budweiser. And then MJ then piggybacks off that also and says, if you had to choose between being the top sports podcaster or getting mad cow disease, what would it be? Of course, I would be the top sports podcaster. Oh, good. I was starting to worry about you. So that's a really funny reference. One of our favorite things that we always kind of quote there. Let's go with one of these audio questions. Let's see what we got here.
This is Gerald Glassford from the Pop Culture Cosmos Show, available on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel on Apple Podcasts and over a dozen more podcast outlets. And my question for you guys is, who do you think the MVP is so far to this point in the NBA season?
NBA MVP, good question. Thanks for tuning in. MVP to me would be James Harden right now. I know Nick Wright would say LeBron James is shooting 57% from the floor. James Harden shooting 45.8, 12 points better. LeBron James, 2 points better from three. LeBron James, more rebounds, more assists, fewer steals, more blocks, less turnovers, higher efficiency rating. LeBron James is the MVP of this league. That's Nick Wright doing his whole thing right there. Not the best impression, but you get the point. James Harden to me is the MVP. Team's got the best record in the NBA. They have the best winning percentage in the NBA. Like, they don't have the most wins. That's because the Celtics have played probably almost double the amount of games, it feels like, than anyone else in the NBA. They play every night, it seems. So Houston's 25-6. The Celtics are 27-9. So yeah, they play 5 more games. So Houston has, less games played, higher winning percentage. Yeah, it's got to be James Harden. Leads the NBA in scoring. I'm pretty sure he wound up leading the NBA in scoring last year, too. He probably would have been the MVP last year if Russell Westbrook didn't average a triple-double for the year. which was crazy. So yeah, I would say for me, I would go Harden so far. Doesn't necessarily mean there's still a lot of season left. My good friend Ray Van is getting into photography. I don't know how far along the process he is. I think they have a website. If there's a website, I'll put it in the description to this podcast. You can check him out, though. Really, really talented guy. I've known him. This is actually the person I've known longest in my life other than my immediate family. We went to pre-K together. Known this guy for like 27 years. Is the Earth round or flat? I believe there are NBA players that believe in flat Earth. That's true. There are NBA players. There's also people all around the world. That one sentence just explained what I think. There's people all around the world. I believe the Earth is round, but I understand the concept. Like, I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't even say I understand the concept. I can appreciate the outside the box thinking for flat earthers, but yeah, I think it's round. Keith Nance, former coworker, current fantasy football league enemy opponent. Are you going to have this year's fantasy football champion on a future podcast? We could do that. It'd be on Dave Speaks. It's whatever the fuck I want to talk about. So yeah, absolutely. Aaron from WECP says, "Who's the greatest New England-born athlete, and is MJ tough?" The greatest New England-born athlete. Oh. Jesus, that's a wide range. New England-born athlete. That's tough. Oh, man. I don't know. Let's go John Cena. Whatever. Just answer for answer's sake. John Cena. Is MJ tough? Every time I start to want to get off the MJ's tough train, he does something that just makes it very easy for me to say that he's not tough. So, no, he's not tough. He's not tough, to answer your question, Aaron. Jose, host of Joe's Fantasy Football, or Joe's Fantasy Field Goal, sorry about that, Fantasy Football Show. 1/3 of the Nerds asks, why is Eminem's new album so disappointing? Which is based off a personal conversation we had. And if you could compare Tom Brady to any multi-Grammy winning record producer / rapper, who would it be? Kanye West. Kanye West. Joe did a good job there. I like that one. And Kevin, formerly Katie reports, girls, do they belong in cages or no? I'm going to say no, Kev, just for today's day and age. With the Patriots win, this is from Carlton Soares, listener to the show. With the Patriots win and the Steelers loss this weekend, do you think BB will rest TB12 due to his Achilles injury? No. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're out early. Like, fourth quarter, if they're up 20, maybe everyone gets out of there pretty early. Oh, here we go. Here's a couple more from MJ. He says, because we always refer to him as a serial killer based on the way that he eats his grinders. And he says, if you think someone you know is a serial killer, do you think it's best to provoke them? Which I would answer only it's not a good idea to provoke someone that you think is a serial killer if you think they're tough. If you don't think the person's tough, then it doesn't matter, I guess, right? Is your middle name really not Theodore? Really is not. For some reason, he has called me David Theodore Dawson for years, for like 10 or 12 years. Never been my middle name, never told him it was. He just went on this kick where he just started giving people middle names, like Kevin Huey Hetner, a good friend of mine, and I can't remember some of the others. But yeah, he would call me David Theodore Dawson for no reason. And no, my middle name is not Theodore. MJ also asks, if ugly sweaters are now fashionable, are they no longer really ugly sweaters? It's true. Like, if ugly is the trend, can it really be ugly? Because then really it's like, what's hot? Like, that's what's cool. Man, that'll make you think. Joe asks, is it possible to get off Aaron's list once you've been added to it? I'm going to go with a hard no. I don't think anyone has made it off of Aaron's list. That's a deep cut, but you got to be a long-time listener of the Boston Sports Nerds podcast to understand what Aaron's list is. Aaron asks, who is the next great WWE superstar? The next great WWE superstar. I really like Aleister Black in NXT. I don't know if he's going to be the next great. I think that WWE screws up everyone I really like. Like Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, all those guys. They're just like such a waste. Such a waste there. But if I had to, if I'm rooting for anybody, it'd be Aleister Black. That's my guy. I like him a lot. Is Alex Guerrero a quack? No. I don't believe in Alex Guerrero. I don't believe Alex Guerrero is a quack. I'll say this. Well, I guess this kind of goes to your follow-up. And does avocado ice cream really fix injuries? No. Avocado ice cream doesn't fix injuries. Plant-based lifestyle is healthy. So, I don't think that he's wrong for that. The way Tom Brady consumes his diet is not necessarily healthy, but it works for him. It may help an athlete in the way that, like, they're in season and they're whatever. So his diet, a lot of nutritionists say, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. It's not a good thing. I think that... I think Alex Guerrero, I think confidence is a motherfucker. I think confidence would come back to bite you a lot. And I think that, well, not come back to bite you. I think confidence really is what we are, I should say. Tom Brady's 40 years old and really good still. Is it because of Alex Guerrero? Maybe. Or is it because he's confident in himself based on the workouts and he believes in it? He believes that what he's doing is working. So when he plays with 100% confidence, that even though I'm 40, I don't care. I'm 40. Fine. I'm in the best shape of my life. You know why I'm in the best shape of my life? Because I feel the best. So if he feels the best now, he has the confidence to think I'm better than I ever was. I feel better than I ever was. So Tom Brady is in the best shape of his life, maybe. Yeah. That's true. So Alex Guerrero can't be a quack because what they're doing has made him faster than he's ever been. Like, documented. He's quicker now. He's better now. He's a better athlete now at 40. So no, I don't think he's a quack. But I think that, like, the injury thing is all confidence. Because if you believe that you're in the best shape, you're not going to feel hurt. I'm a little sore. Whatever. But if you start to think like, oh, I'm 40, and any day now, my career could be over. Then I think I do believe sort of like willing things into fruition. And I believe that if you think you're okay, you're going to be okay. You know, there's like this really crazy study. I think my girlfriend was the one telling me about it, where cancer patients that would write in the diary, "I am cancer free." It's either my father or my girlfriend that was on this. They would write, "I am cancer free" in a journal or a diary or whatever every day, even though they weren't cancer free. And like 70% of the people that wrote "I am cancer free" survived. And like 95% of the people that didn't write it passed away. I do believe in mind over matter. I also think there's things that are inevitable and you can't completely control. But the avocado ice cream, no, just healthy eating. You know, I don't want to believe it fixes injuries. I just think healthy diet is good for your body. Joe asks, when you do a cash fundraiser for a charity, what is the percentage that gets donated to the charity by the nerds, and what is the percentage that is kept by the nerds? So we've had a couple events. This is a good question. We've had 2 events over the past month. What we do is, I did the one event by myself, the first one. So 50% of the money went into an envelope that's going to be donated to the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Connecticut. The other 50%, I took and I bought material to sell at the next event. So 100% of the money goes towards fundraising. 50% of it is an automatic donation to the charity. So, like, when we did the wrestling event, we had all these glasses, drinking glasses, beer mugs, coffee mugs, drinking glasses, whatever, with our logos on them. The money that I raised at the last event, and half of it went into an envelope and half of it went into my pocket. I then took it out of my pocket and paid for the material to sell at the next event. So I bought the glasses. I bought the Mod Podge to do it. I bought all the material, all the equipment required to do it. I love being able to do things where we raise money, and you know, we were able to do something good, and it's great promotional experience for us. Yeah, 50% automatically right into the pocket of the charity itself, and then 50% goes into our fundraising fund. So there's that. Will Gordon Hayward play this season? And that's a real good one. I hope not, which may sound crazy, but I really like this team. They could use Hayward. If Hayward comes back, I want him to come off the bench and be a bench scorer for him, because I like the chemistry, and I think he hurts Tatum a little bit. Like, Tatum's growth has been really, really good without Hayward, and I wonder how much of that. I don't know. I've been on record as saying you could even trade Hayward and try to get a piece back. But no, I don't want to do that. I do want to see Hayward here. I am curious to see how that team works out. And I'm more interested next year. But yeah, I mean, if he can come off the bench in the playoffs and be a scoring option for him, that's tough. That's a tough one. I got one more question that was emailed, and then I got one more audio question. So let's read off the final. Well, I'm sorry. This is a 2-part question. This is Chris the Toph Green from the Gravity Beard podcast. Don't really know what the show's about. He didn't leave much of a description as to the show, but go check out the Gravity Beard podcast. Gravity Beard being one word. Question number 1 he has is a hot dog a sandwich? That's a wild question. I'm gonna say no, and it goes against everything that I believe in. It should be a sandwich. But it's fucking sideways, man. Like, I don't know. That's a weird thing to me. Like, a sandwich is bun, meat, bun, vertical stack. You don't get to, as a hot dog, go fucking bun, meat, bun horizontally and be like, oh, I'm a sandwich too. Got a problem with that. I like hot dogs a lot. I just refer to them as hot dogs. Hey, give me, like, if anyone says, hey, can you get me a hot dog? They know exactly what you mean. You say, hey, can you get me a sandwich? Like, oh, do you want ham? Or peanut butter and jelly? Like it's like a burger. Like, to me, a hot dog in a burger are in their own class. Like, where you just say, hey, give me a burger. Everyone knows what you're talking about. It's the hamburger with cheese on it. Probably. Like, give me a cheeseburger, I guess, would then be the correct term. But whatever. Hey, give me a burger. Like, give me a burger. Yeah, sure. Someone would go grab a fucking spatula, grab a meat patty, put it on a bun, put another bun on top. Mayo, ketchup, mustard, whatever your forte is. Throw the thing on there. Hey, give me a hot dog. Yeah, okay. Bun, hot dog, ketchup, win, whatever, or mustard, whatever, relish, whatever your thing is. You ever say to someone, hey, give me a sandwich? What kind? Always. Always the answer. Hey, can you give me a sandwich? Yeah, what kind do you want? Hey, can you give me a hot dog? What kind do you want? The fucking hot dog one. That one. That's the hot dog I want. The fucking hot dog one. So, no. A hot dog's not a sandwich. It is by, like, the classification, but it's not a sandwich. And he also asked another question, which I actually really like. I really like the hot dog question, too. I felt like that was a really good response. If you were you, which I am, and I had to lead the same everyday life that you do now, but now you were in the body of an animal, what animal would you choose? You can talk, and you can have the same intelligence, etc. that you have now. I'd be a lion. I have this picture that I reference a lot. It's like, be a fucking lion, be a fucking tiger, rip people's faces off, be a better person, be humble, fucking say please and thank you, whatever. Like, it's like this weird combination of how to just be, like, be ferocious, work hard, be polite, open doors, like, say fuck you to mean people. Like, I don't know. It says, I don't have it memorized, but it's like this thing where it's just like, you know, stick your middle finger up at homeless people. You're like, why? That doesn't make sense. But now it's like this, you know, motivational or inspirational type thing. And I for some reason, this sounds so corny, but for some reason, it really clicked with me one day. Like, I was at work and I was having a tough time with my manager, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm like losing myself here. I'm just fucking so frustrated, whatever. And I saw the picture and it was like, just be a fucking lion, rip people's faces off, be better, work harder, whatever. You know, give middle fingers to homeless people. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I just fucking went on a homeless person flip off tour. No, but it just clicked with me, and I went to work and I was like fucking woof. I was completely an animal. I just went into like beast mode, dude, and it changed my whole work life. And I'm not saying like that photo did, like, obviously I had to put the work in, but it just kind of was a nice, like, yeah. You got it. Just be the man. Just be the man, dude. Like, and that's true for everybody. Just like, fucking, what are you waiting for? Just be the man. You got a problem with somebody or something, just be the man, dude. There's fucking nothing to... Like, John, my buddy John, really good friend of mine, told me once, he says, yeah, man, don't be bitter, be better. Don't be bitter. be better. And I was like, yeah, that's true. Like, what am I going to be like, oh man, I wish that this, like, oh no, I'm going to do that then. Like, if I want that, I'm going to do that. So, yeah, I would say a lion, just king of the jungle. And if I could just keep doing my thing, then I'd probably be like the first lion podcaster in the world. Which would probably make me a ton of money. Would probably have a tough time getting served at the 4-star sports bar view, though. May hinder that. So I don't know. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, you know, imagine trying to walk into just fucking... Imagine if I went into work, and I'm like, hey guys, it's me, and they're like, what the fuck? And I would just be like shot down instantly, like just Harambe style, like fucking done with. Oh man. Like, no guys, it's me. No, it's me, Dave. And they'll be like, what the fuck? Like, oh. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. Like you said, you could go on with your daily life, but I think if you were any animal at all, you really couldn't. Because like if you were a cat, they would just call like animal control. Like if I came to work as a cat and I'm like, guys, it's me. I'm here to load this truck. Like I'm here early. You know, whatever. Then, and if I'm a fucking cat, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? And call animal like services, animal control. So I don't know, man. Like you kind of set me up. You kind of set me up with this question, Chris. Like, and if I was a butterfly, I wouldn't actually be able to do my job. Or a squirrel or whatever. Like, I couldn't load trucks. I couldn't fucking go grocery shopping. Like, I couldn't just live my life, man. That's it's a good question, but it's a really bad, like, you're kind of doomed. You know what I would be? I'd be a human. That's what I would be. So if I wanted to continue living my life as any animal I could be, I would be a human. I changed my answer. I'm going to go human. All right, let's get into the last question of the night.
Hi, this is Olivia James from the Super Serious Social Justice Podcast. You can find us at sssjcast.com. We talk about big topics like race, sexuality, gender, and disability, and we actually manage to have fun while we do it, so I hope you'll check us out. Here is my question. If you had to get rid of one state in the U.S., which one would it be and why?
New Jersey. Because it fucking stinks.
Shut